Good morning, everybody. This is Coffee with Sandy. Thank you for joining us today. The mission of Coffee with Sandy is actually to bring pivotal moments in other people's lives to show that we all go through different things that are outside of our expectations, but we also push through those things and try to actually keep the positive. So this morning, I am fortunate enough to meet with Rob. Mm-hmm. And Rob, if you can introduce yourself to everybody, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm Rob Soucek. I'm with Farmers Insurance. I've been an insurance agent for over 5 years now, and absolutely love helping people and making sure people know what they're getting and they get the best value. It's great being part of the community and helping all our friends and neighbors.
Yeah, great. So you and I think, met for the first time at Tri-Lakes Chamber.
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, it's been a couple years now, so as you get older, those things kind of fade. So.
Exactly. Well, and when you become friends with the people that you meet, or it's hard to remember where was it that we met.
Exactly.
I mean, I have specifics. Like my best friend Sherry. I worked with her for the very first time when I moved out here.
Sure.
Those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's always great to see you at different events and throughout our little community. So, but what did you want to be when you were in second grade?
A stuntman.
Right?
No, I either wanted to be a truck driver or a stuntman. So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, all those 80s movies, like, they're all blowing stuff up, Dukes of Hazzard, like Miami Vice, like, come on, like, how cool would that be to be in exploding cars all the time?
Yeah, no
So,
kidding.
yeah, that was it for me. Well, I mean, the NHL player,
I did not
of course.
expect that at all. Out of all the responses, it's like second grade, a stuntman. Okay.
Yeah. You asked my brother, he was like, well, I want to be a this and that engineer. I was like, okay. Yeah. I think that was at first grade. He's wired a little differently than I am.
Your poor mom.
Yeah. You ain't kidding.
Was it just you and your brother, or did you?
I have a little sister as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're all about a year and a half apart.
Oh,
so.
wow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And your brother was, are you the oldest?
No, I'm the middle.
Oh.
I mean, if you didn't know, they say there's some certain traits that go with middle children.
Well, I'm a middle girl.
Oh, okay. All right. That's probably the reason we get along.
I don't know. So in high school, did your plans change?
Well, yeah, I thought I was going to go play in the NHL, and so that's all I did was play hockey, and nope, that's it. Yeah. That was everything to me. So whether, street hockey or knee hockey or whatever, I always had a hockey stick or something like that in my hands. Mm-hmm. So that's all we did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was great.
And you play now, right?
Yeah.
And you coach?
I coach here in Monument, and I normally play, but I'm rehabbing my knee. I blew out my knee like in January, and when I was 20, it would take like 3 months to get better, and 9 months later.
That's why I'm very gingerly walk upstairs now. I pay attention because I'm pretty afraid.
I'm kind of thinking it might be time for one level living.
Are you saying that about me?
Nope, I don't know what you're talking about.
So, in high school, then you wanted to play hockey.
Yep, that was it.
Did you go to college for that then?
I did. I played one semester at Lake Superior State and blew out both my knees at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
Screwing around in practice, and that was it. I couldn't skate for 8 years after that. So
8 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty bad. And so I just kind of came home, and my best friend was a chef, and so I was like, well, I guess I'll hang with you. So he taught me the ropes, and I did that until I was 30, and then my first son came along, and realized that wasn't going to pay the bills. So went into casinos and was in casino management for 10 years.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was an interesting life for sure.
Yeah. Was it Cripple Creek?
Yeah, in Cripple Creek. So I worked at several casinos up in Cripple Creek, kind of made my path through the different ones to find the right fit, and then I had a guy that worked for Farmers for he'd been with Farmers forever, and from the first day that we opened the craps when the limits went up and they started with craps and roulette and all that stuff, he was trying to hire me. I was wow. I am not a salesperson. Yeah. Nope.
I don't
Been
wanna
there,
do
done that.
insurance.
Got the T-shirt. I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was persistent. And then I was teaching school 4 days a week and working at the casino 4 days a week, and coaching hockey. And I was just at the end of my rope. I wasn't putting any money in the bank and was trying to do everything for everybody. And he came in on a particular night and was like, "Are you ready?" He saw a look on my face, I think. And I was like, "All right, what do I do?" And so I worked, got my license. A month later, I'm working with him. 7 months later, I own my own agency. So
that quick?
Yes, I loved it.
Wow.
I absolutely loved it. And it was during COVID, so everybody was home answering their phones. I was like, this is like shooting fish in a barrel. This is great. Yeah. And so, and it's been great ever since. I absolutely love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is your family now? Is everybody here?
So I have 21 cousins on my mom's side, and they're almost all in Colorado.
Wow.
So there's a couple that are, one's in Texas, one's on the East Coast, but for the most part, we've pretty much stayed put. My grandma and grandpa were in Denver. My mom grew up in Denver, so it's been great. And then I have on my dad's side, I have an aunt in France and cousins in France.
Oh, how fun!
And then the rest of them are in California. So
California.
Yep.
Okay.
I didn't invite them here.
Well, but you'd welcome
I love them. They can come visit.
You would welcome them here if they wanted to.
Yeah. Well, there's no vacancy, so.
So, because you have such a large extended family, then did you do a lot with the holidays?
Oh yeah. So still every year we have a big Christmas party where everybody comes to Denver and
up to Denver.
Yeah, we rent out a space and we have just a great time. We spend the entire day it's 5 generations, so it's awesome.
So cool. Yeah. And with my mom and dad's family, so. My mom's family, every 2 years we would have like a big giant family reunion, and it's just kind of like there's always like more extended cousins that we didn't know about. All of a sudden they appear, and it's like, holy cow, you guys live here?
So my grandma was the glue for the family, and it was really important to her that we continued this after she passed, and we have totally we just have so much fun. Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah, we're all just a bunch of.
Well, and then being local to everybody. I mean, that's the whole thing. I think but of course, I always see those memes. Your cousins are your first best friends, and I 100% believe that because it's like those are the ones that you grow up with.
Absolutely.
They know how to just kind of poke the bear.
Yeah.
I'm calling you a bear.
Or that was my nickname growing up. My French cousins called me Robert, and then it turned to Bear. So poke the bear. Yep. It's all good.
Do you consider yourself an extrovert or an introvert?
Oh, I'm very introverted.
So you recharge.
No, I love people. People fill my cup, and just being around people and feeding off each other's energy. Obviously, we're pretty good at it, and this is just what my normal day is like. And when I sit in my office and if there's nobody around, I'm like. By 2 o'clock, I'm like, okay, we're people.
Well, and your office is in Monument, and you're kind of tucked behind. In the shopping center, but you have quite a bit of different things that you can do up here.
Oh yeah,
if you need to get out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's got lots of great locally owned businesses here too. So great places for lunch. There's there's a donut place and a Domino right So if I ever smell like donut pizza, that's why.
Do you have any big influencers or anybody that really made a huge impact in your life?
There's been just so many. So with being out extrovert, meeting people all the time, I talk about my business all the time with people, and with the different groups, the networking groups that I'm in, it's awesome because you really get to see how other people run their businesses and learn from their mistakes. And so I wouldn't say that there was a single influencer for me, really. I think it's just the amalgam of all the people that I surround myself with, because I pretty much hang out with business owners. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, right? And hockey players. So, if you got a little bit of crazy, a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll. So,
is there a song Certainly.
Yeah, I think there's a South Park episode too, maybe. Like, yeah.
Probably.
Simpsons did
Isn't
it.
there all kinds of Simpsons and South Park
Yeah.
shows that are written about
me? Yes. Yeah.
So how did you acquire this personality?
I hit my head a lot as a kid.
Okay.
So
is it a lot of like? I mean, I think that it is a learned behavior, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's probably. I mean, I can't imagine what your mother went through, but I do know that people change. You know, with
I haven't changed a bit.
Really?
No.
So you just lived your life, just kind of.
Yeah,
This is who I am, and
pretty much, like, take it or leave it. Like, I like me, so I hope, and I think most people that I get, I get along with everybody because I genuinely care about people just like you do, and it shows.
Yeah.
And so, that can be good and bad. You can get taken advantage of a fair amount, but never let that bring me down because they needed it. Like whatever they needed. So that's fine.
Yeah. Well, so you mentioned networking groups. Are there any that you used to be?
So I used to have the Front Range Referral Partners. Had some transition in my life where I just couldn't keep all the balls in the air, and if I can't do something well, I'm not going to do it at all. So that was one of the things that I just had to slash so I could focus on my kids and my business and hockey.
Yeah. There seems to be a theme here with hockey.
Yeah. I'm a goalie, and that's why I still have all my teeth. So,
And your kids play hockey. Yep.
Yeah, one plays at Lewis Palmer High School, and then the others here at the Rampage organization, the local monument organization. It's fantastic.
And isn't the team? Don't you guys travel?
A
lot?
We're all over the place. We've been in Steamboat already. This weekend. We were in Boulder, and then we had a local game. I think we had 5 games this weekend.
Wow!
So
holy moly!
Yeah, between the Air Force Academy, World Arena, and
how do you
Boulder.
shut down?
Why would you?
I don't know. That wears me out already.
Yeah, I know, right? No, you hit the pillow, and then you wake up and you do it again.
Yeah.
I don't have this problem falling asleep normally
because you are going all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
So, pivotal moments that you've lived through. Obviously, when you blew out both your knees.
Yep, that was a bad day.
Just a day. I love it.
Yeah, no, that was.
It doesn't seem as though you let it stop you, though.
Oh, I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just kind of was spiraling for a little bit. But, I love being around people, and restaurants was a great place for that. Maybe not some of the best influences in the world in restaurants, but, you learn.
But you learned how to be around people, different personalities for sure.
Yep.
And
then the casino is just like,
again,
a fish of water, right? Around people all the time.
Yeah.
And some really challenging people. So, people aren't the best when they're losing money and drinking alcohol, but, when they're winning money and drinking alcohol, they're fantastic.
Right. Yes. Well, and then with insurance, I know that because of the new laws or restrictions, I guess, on Colorado, I mean, just all those pieces of, it doesn't seem as though you let anything stop you. You will always find a way. Yeah.
And so about 3 years ago, I saw the transition where it was going to be more difficult to really stay focused on personal lines, which is home and auto and umbrella and those things. So I needed to diversify. And so I started studying commercial insurance. Because I just wanted to have another tool in my toolbox, but then I just totally fell in love with it, and it's great. And so
what is success to you? What do you define? Do you have like a certain? So
it's funny. My barber asked me one time. He was like, "So when is it going to be enough?" And I was like, I don't have an answer to that because I value my time with my family, my free time, so time with friends, and I've just learned recently how to be alone. So that's super cool too. Like sitting out and watching the sunset is something that it's one of those things too that when you haven't been alone for a long time, and then all of a sudden it's almost like Yeah.
a wall that you hit, but then
Plenty of
you obviously have climbed over.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and it did take a little bit to acclimate to a different style of, you know, like just a different routine, right? So, but yeah, I mean, if you see the good in every day, then
And I was just going to ask you, how do you stay positive? I mean, you
just wake up that way.
Yeah, and I can just feel that, and anytime I see you, that's just kind of what it is.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, hello.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's mornings I wake up and I'm like,
I could be the Eeyore, and you'd be like,
no, there's days I wake up and I just don't want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
But then I remind myself, I just tell myself it's going to be a good day, and then I'm like, oh, somebody told me it was going to be a good day. So,
somebody, you don't have to say who.
Right, yeah.
So no roadblocks then.
There's always stuff, but there's always ways around, over, under, through, right?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so earlier you had mentioned, South Park and The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Do you have favorite movies that you?
Well, I like
I
lean towards like the sci-fi action stuff, just because otherwise I fall asleep. I don't spend a ton of time looking at the TV though. I just don't have there's not enough hours in the day, so That's
not how you shut down.
No. Actually, it was. I would turn on TV on things that I've watched a million times, like Harry Potter or whatever, and I'd fall asleep instantly to that. But I started sharing dystopian books with my 15-year-old. He reads a ton, and so he's been giving me books, and I've noticed that I wake up like way more refreshed. I sleep better when I'm reading at night instead of having the TV on while I'm trying to fall asleep. So, little inside tip for you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, what advice would you give your younger self?
Plan better. So I've done all the work. I've done the work 10 times over. But I never, until my kids were getting older, like 5, not babies anymore. I really didn't have a plan. I was like, okay, things are just going to go my way, and they are, But having a plan to succeed and picturing what that looks like is important. And I would have started that like my brother and sister did when they were in junior high. I just probably had more money in the bank, I think. I don't know.
So, I think I would for sure too. I mean, I would have, back when I was in my early 20s, when I first came out here, had I known what to do with all the money I thought I was making,
right?
Instead of, I can get a credit card now,
right?
Right.
You mean I can go?
Instead of saving and buying my first house, if I could have done that,
I didn't buy my first house until 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I had lots of opportunity.
I wasn't your lender.
3 years ago.
How long have you been in it?
No, it was really difficult to get a loan with
because you're a business.
Just starting the business and all the hoops that you have to jump through. I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole thing. I really like to sit down with people and actually give them a plan. But with so you didn't have a plan, and so you kind of learned as you went. And I know people now that I sat down with somebody at a title company, and he's like, Sandy, you have to have a plan. Every year you need to sit down and look at your plan. Do you do that?
Well, yeah. So I have this tracker sheet that I had a business coach who was fantastic for years, and he was a guy. I coached his son in hockey, and when I started in insurance, I was scrambling. I was squirreling. I didn't know what I was just around trying to figure out whatever I could do to talk to people, and I was throwing up insurance on people. Right? It was
and
terrible.
Was his business coach somebody in insurance or not?
No, he owns a real estate brokerage, and is just a really awesome guy. I'll give him a shout out if I'm allowed to. I don't know, but his name is Brian Kennedy, and he's amazing. He cares so genuinely about the people and their success. But he gave me all these tools to track my daily activity, my weekly activity, my quarterly activity, and my annual activity, and I have it tracked back 5 years now. So I know how many phone calls I made that day or that week or whatever. And then I can look at my numbers and go, okay, I need to do this if I want this outcome. Or, if I want to not be on the phone so much, I can kind of pull back as long as I'm making that. This activity reaches this outcome.
Did you find in the beginning that social media was like the crux of part of the problem? Because you can always all the different social medias you can scroll.
Yeah, I'm not super on them very often. I'll check to see if somebody messages me on Facebook like once a week. So if you message me on Facebook, just say,
just give you some time.
Yeah, it's probably a 7-day turnaround. I'm just saying. I'm just not on that much. But I would listen to music or just stare off into space sometimes, and just try to figure out why the world turns and things like that. I'm pretty.
So, what 3 words describe you the best?
Genuine, fun, and goofy, probably. I don't know. But there's no secrets with me. My emotions are on my sleeves. If you want to know something about my life, just ask or don't, and I'll still tell you.
Is there anybody that knows you 100%?
My best friend Kelly for sure. And Scotty. Between the two of them, they're my rocks. And he was my best man at my wedding, and he's in Kansas now, but we still communicate almost every day.
Very cool. So, outside of hockey, do you have any other kind of hobbies or things that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, I just got into hiking, which I've lived in Colorado my whole life, and I thought hiking was just a way to get somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And I live right on the base of Mount Herman, and there's a million hiking paths, and my dog loves it. I love it, and it's good to kind of recenter with nature and kind of get all that. So I owe that to my friend Kelly. She's the one that got me into it, and I was like, I don't want to do this, but I was, okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it is, and that's what's, in Minnesota, when it rains in Minnesota, it's usually a warm rain in the summer, where it's very cold when it rains here.
Yep.
And I miss that so much. But yet, it's like I didn't realize how gloomy it was until I went back one year, and it was cloudy for like a week, and I'm like, I miss my son.
Yeah. No,
I love both sides of the different atmospheres, I guess, but Colorado is just so beautiful that you get to see so much.
Yeah, and I didn't know how much I would miss it when I moved to Michigan, because they have hills they call mountains, and
Minnesota too,
and a lot of clouds, right? And the snow dumps, and then it stays there the whole winter. So it doesn't warm up like it does here.
Right.
But Colorado has a horrible climate. Don't come here. But no, I really
look straight in the camera.
Right. No, but I got depressed for the first little while because I didn't have my mountains and I didn't have the sun.
Yeah.
So we're so used to the sun here.
Well, and imagine now that you're getting out into nature and hiking, what difference it will be on your next trip. Do you travel at all outside of? I know you do with hockey, but do you get to experience the different areas that you go to then?
Oh yeah, the hockey games are like 2 a day when we're traveling, and then we get to do all kinds of different stuff. But before I bought my agency, I went, decided to spend all my money and go to Europe for 8 weeks.
Oh wow!
And we took the kids to hockey camp, and I've been to Europe a fair amount because I have family there, and then I was dating a girl that did a study abroad, so I got to go live in Sweden for a while, and
neat.
So I love traveling, love. So
do you have a favorite spot? Like if you could go all the time,
I think
without the expense.
In the summer, probably the Czech Republic. Not the cities. Prague's the coolest city I've ever been in, but the countryside of the Czech Republic is gorgeous, and just it wasn't affected too much by World War I or World War II, so there's still like fortified towns.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's like stepping back in time. It's really cool, and the people are fantastic.
Well, isn't it crazy too? I actually went to Brussels, I don't know, 12 years ago.
I like their sprouts.
I don't. I think you learned that the other night.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
So your holidays, what is your favorite out of all?
So our holidays are hockey tournaments. So Thanksgiving,
Wish I could say
we go to a turkey shoot hockey tournament.
Turkey shoot?
Well, they with the puck and turkey, whatever.
Okay.
They're all called the turkey shoot. I'm like, can we get a little more original, really? Like,
well, I didn't hear about it until now. So
and she's from Minnesota. Like,
I never paid attention to hockey.
well, nobody's perfect. No, but that's what New Year's. There's a tournament. There's like President's Day. There's Martin Luther King. There's every single 3-day weekend is a hockey tournament. Like hockey really doesn't have any boundaries.
So is that how it was when you were growing up then too? Or
100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Your
My parents didn't see each other for years.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So your dad traveled with you then when you were playing hockey?
It just depended. So my sister was an elite gymnast. So my brother and I both played travel hockey. So we just went with the hockey family a lot of times. So, I might be in Chicago with somebody else's family at 10,
Yeah.
So I actually got left at the hotel once in Skokie, Illinois.
Oh my!
Yeah, and I'm the goalie.
How long did it take them?
About 45 minutes, like 15 minutes before the game. They're like, "Where's Robbie?" So I see this van flying, like it was like the A-team.
How did you get left? Just sleeping?
No. My equipment made it. So the kids were supposed to get in this van. The equipment was getting in this van. I forgot my sticks, so I ran to go get my sticks.
Yep.
Came back and they were gone.
They're all gone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I'm sure after
And
that.
they were like, the bus was so quiet.
So do you ever get
It was
into
the
a funk?
90s.
Yeah, well,
it's
that's
a little different. Yeah, they usually last like a day.
So how do you get yourself out of them?
Just leaning on friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like just having a movie night or something, just to decompress. And then recharge and then realize that everything is fleeting, so you might as well just get going.
Yeah.
Because if you want to just live in that little toilet bowl, by all means, but that's not where I want to live.
Yeah, and that's really truly why my Coffee with Sandy mission has expanded.
Yeah,
because
it's awesome what you've done.
It's like I know that we all go through certain situations that it's like if you just want to keep sitting on the couch feeling sorry for yourself. Of course, I do sometimes.
Yeah. That's why I have so many couches.
They may not just be in your house. They might be in somebody else's, or they might be in a coffee shop,
or a therapist's office. Whatever. It's like,
exactly. and it really truly is. Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Don't just get into your funk and then not figure it. Have somebody ask for help. I mean, I
think that's the hardest part, really.
Yeah.
Like, I know when I was going through my divorce and, had some depression issues, I didn't want to be around people, which wasn't me.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking for help. And when I finally did, then
the doors just...
Well, even when I didn't ask, people saw it and came and helped me. So I'm really blessed for the people in my life. And even people that, it was people from the chamber. It was people, just in the community that would just be like, we haven't seen your smiling face around. What's going on? And so those phone calls, those texts, made a huge difference for me.
That's really cool. Yeah, and I think that's what really, with the networking that I have learned to be part of, it's great to know that now when I walk into a room, because I'm more of an extrovert, an introverted.
You are?
An introverted extrovert.
Okay. All right, little yin, little yang.
I struggle going into a room with people that I don't know.
Oh, I'm just like, yes.
You see it as opportunity. I see it as, okay, I'm going to be a fly on the wall.
No, I'm going to make my friends.
Or I'm going to see somebody who's in the corner themselves and go, okay, you're my wingman, because I don't like meeting people alone.
Yeah.
So
that's what I love about the Tri-Lakes, too. Nobody is a fly on the wall. We don't let it happen.
Right, exactly.
So,
yeah. So do you have a bucket list?
No, I pretty much do what I want.
So you have a life list, huh?
Yeah, and so I'm planning on going to Mexico to learn to scuba dive in January. If anybody wants to go with me, let me know. I got a 5-bedroom place down there.
Be careful what you ask for.
Oh, it should be fun. But I don't have it all ironed out yet.
Yeah.
But I know that, like, for my birthday, I'm gonna take a little me time.
Very cool. Now, scuba diving lessons here before you go, or are you just gonna go down there? And
I'll just go find somebody that's like $20, and they're like, "Here, put this on your back," and there's sharks in there probably. And I'm like, "Sweet."
I had the opportunity
how I
to do
roll.
that in Key West, and I'm like, nope. I'm a rule follower.
Oh, what's that like?
I don't know. You can watch me someday and find out why did she do that way.
Right.
But I'm so afraid to step outside the box, right? Because oh my gosh. But I did learn a long time ago, about 25 years ago. My now ex-husband, but he had said, "What's the worst that can happen if you just ask?" They say no, big whoopee, move on, go on to something else. And guess what? I got my mom VIP seats at Toby Keith concert one night because they were sold out. And I'm like, are you sure? Can't we just go sit on the grass?
Right.
And guess what? They came back with 3 VIP seats for us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Every concert I go to, I upgrade by being nice to an usher or something. And I'll get backstage, or I'll get VIP or whatever,
And you have no idea unless you ask.
Yeah, closed mouths don't get fed. So this guy,
I will have to learn from that.
no, I learned that one from a guy at the casino that he played a little bit here and there, but he would ask for food or free money or every 10 minutes, and I'm like, dude, just go away. He's like, I know, but not without the ticket.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
All right, buddy, here you go. And he's like, closed mouths don't get fed every time. Dude, that's pretty hilarious.
Anyway, I want to thank you very much for joining me today. I'm so glad that we finally were able to get it scheduled.
Yeah, how long have you been doing this? I know it's been a long time.
So with the podcast, I actually just launched the podcast June 1st of this year.
Okay.
But every day my posts have been 2 years, June 1st.
Okay.
Is when, I started.
Rockstar. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was told I needed to get back on social media.
Yeah, people have told me that too, but I'm busy.
Yes.
I got things to do. I got to go hiking or stare at the wall or something.
When you wake up in the morning, you pop up out of bed. Guess what I do? I do a post. My Coffee with Sandy post. That's the first thing I do because I just make sure that I can acknowledge or recognize somebody that I've met in the previous week or two, or recognize somebody that hasn't been recognized.
That's cool. I do something a little similar, but it's not the first thing I do in the morning. But when I do get to the office, I try to write 2 thank you cards.
Oh, there you go.
And it can be to myself. It can be to my dog. It can be to somebody I met at a networking event.
That's a really good idea.
But you start your day from a place of gratitude.
Yeah.
And it's everything.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Well, thank you again, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you all for joining us today. I am Sandy Soucek. I am your mortgage advisor. I can help you get into a home. As I said earlier, I can actually help you plan to get into a home, or maybe even get into a refinance if you need more money at the end of your month. I can look at those numbers and see if it makes sense for you. And investment properties are always something fun too to look into. And Rob, if you can let everybody know how to reach you.
Really the best way is to call me. I answer my phone all the time, so the office phone rings straight through to my cell phone, so you'll get somebody. And it's usually me. 719-481-0600, and it's R Soucek, Soucek, at farmersagent.com. So you can try to get me on Facebook, but just know turnaround time's a little longer. Just saying.
All right.
Watch paint dry and look at Facebook, but okay.
Thank you all so much. See you next time.